So, this is my story of how I found Ariel and transformed my life and ended up losing 120 pounds. I came from a very small town that didn't have much. We didn't even have a mall, and we drove about an hour to if we ever wanted to go see a movie, and anywhere from 3 to 5 hours if we wanted to go to a concert. The only jobs were fast food, gas station, or factory. And I was working at Taco Bell for 8 years because I didn't want to work in a factory. My boyfriend, our relationship was kind of at a standstill. It wasn't really growing or going anywhere. And I was getting sick of doing nothing with my life. I packed up my bags and I decided that I was going to move to St. Paul, Minnesota and try and change my life and do what I loved. My dream was to work concerts, and I knew that living in Keokuk, working at Taco Bell, just a small town, I couldn't do that. So I hopped in the car with my suitcase and my clothes, and I took the 8-hour drive to go to the cities. I went to McNally Smith College of Music to learn sound. And after I moved back, when I moved to Minnesota, I tried looking for anything related to music just to get my foot in the door. I actually ended up getting a job at the box office at Mystic Lake, doing concerts. And I finally have started dabbling more into what I went to college for, doing cameras, doing sound, working with the artist directly. So I finally feel that I'm kind of doing what I've moved to the cities for. So when I got my apartment and moved, all I had was my clothes, my suitcase. I packed up my teeny tiny Kia, and it was packed full to the brim of just clothes. When I first moved into my apartment, I didn't have any furniture. I didn't even have a bed to sleep on. I slept on the floor for the first 6 months until a friend lent me a mattress that I could use for a while. After that, I ended up meeting my husband, and we started getting comfortable and just going downtown, hanging out, shopping, going out to eat, going on dates. And that's honestly when I really started to feel that I was gaining more and more weight. I was happy. I was eating more. I felt like I started my life over. I was living in the cities. We had access to the Mall of America. We had so much stuff to do compared to back home. And I was finally working concerts. I had my foot in the door. I was living my dream. After I ended up putting on the weight, there was one day that I just remember driving to work, looking down, and just seeing how big I had gotten. I knew that I needed to lose weight, so I finally started exercising. I went to see a dietitian. I did everything that I could and ended up losing 120 pounds. By about that time, I needed to lose 30 more pounds after I started working out to get my skin reduction surgery. And at that point, I was seeing a dietitian. I was exercising an hour every day. I was at the doctor's office, and I was basically crying because I was on diet pills. I was seeing a dietitian. I was on Weight Watchers. I was exercising an hour every day. I was doing everything that I possibly knew that I could do. And the doctor told me to up my strength training. So I knew if I was going to go to a gym, I wouldn't stick with it. And that day that I came home from the doctor's office, this thing popped up on my Facebook to try aerial arts, and I had never seen that before. So I decided to try aerial arts, even though I was so afraid that I would be so out of shape and I would be the worst one there. But I didn't care because I really wanted my surgery, and the opposite happened. I actually ended up loving Ariel, and now I am completely in love with it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And that's my story.